And we want you to think about that first 60 days after you stepped into a CFO role for the first time. And if you could go back in time and just tell yourself something, there was something you just didn't know as closely as you had observed other CFOs, as closely. You were a unit CFO before that, but there was something.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we all face a bit of imposter syndrome when we're taking on our first senior executive roles. So I think advice I'd give my younger self is to trust your voice, right? You deserve to be there. You've earned it. You're there because of the insights and experiences that have helped you to earn your seat. So believe that you have a valuable point of view to share. I probably censored myself early on as I was trying to, you know, get my feet wet and didn't share early enough, the places where I did have a stronger perspective. And so, that's what I share. Trust your voice. Sure. A finding strategic moment for me that influenced my career was assessing the impact of working capital utilization early on in my tenure as CFO at Agentsia. Because we were a subsidiary unit, we weren't measured on capital efficiency, but really only on our P&L performance. And as a part of offering corporate travel services to small and medium-sized businesses, especially in Europe, we were paying for clients' travel and then billing them for it afterward, but we weren't taking into account the cost of effectively lending to clients as a part of assessing their profitability. And so we found that there were certain clients that were both lower margin, which we knew, but also had longer payment terms, and they were pushing them well below our margin thresholds, if we had taken that into account. And so, that we approached those clients differently. Either we had to extract higher margins in the core solution, or we had to go back to them to renegotiate some of the payment terms to ensure that these were still profitable accounts for us. This insight had stayed with me, frankly, in every role I've had since. With the broader insight being making sure that cash and working capital optimization was at the center of how I manage the business, but also for a B2B business in particular, making sure to assess client profitability, taking into account payment terms that folks were seeking. That was a new insight for me, and just an essential part of how I've managed the business.
And we're wondering about the next 12 months as far as your CFO priorities. What would those be?
Yeah, we've talked about them a little bit. One is, as we prepare the company for any future outcome, it'll be ensuring that we've got the right compliance and controls in place from the enterprise systems perspective, but also from a core financial controls perspective. Second, it's really about continuing that business partner journey that we were talking about earlier, Jack. It's ensuring that we're embedded in all of the conversations, we're delivering on the timelines that we're saying, and we're frankly more proactive than reactive to the types of needs and questions that we're assessing for the business. And maybe the last is, and I talked about it a little bit before, but continuing to optimize our working capital. In the short term, it's managing payments, but in the medium to long term, it's how do we design new business models that are more attractive from us. When you work with large CPG companies, they tend to ask for very long terms, and so how do we design new approaches to partner with them that are advantageous for us?